I'm Leandra from PaperArtsy, and this video is to share with you all about Darcy's new stamps. She's got 3 stamp sets and 3 stencils which follow along from the flowers that she released in 2015. She's got some lovely samples to show you, along with a few people who helped her to create samples for this video tonight. Let's take a look. More amazing flowers from Darcy. These are all going to work beautifully with the last 3 or 4 stamp plates that she did with amazing flowers on them as well. So Darcy always puts her own little twist on things. They're not exactly recognizable flowers from anything, or recognizable bits of fauna, and she just manages to make them her own, and that's what I really like about these. They're always just a little bit quirky. So she's got 3 fantastic stamp plates, EDY 17, 18 and 19. And we'll come and look at samples of those in a minute. But she's also got 3 stencils, so I'm going to start with the stencils. This one here's got butterfly elements on there. Here's a sample that Darcy herself has made with that particular one. So she's created lots of shading and then added little dot detail onto the butterfly. But if you notice along the bottom there, she's also done a sort of a grassy edge to the stencil along the bottom. So you can then use that obviously to create grasses on your samples as well. So that's a great one there from Darcy, and here's another one from Kirsten, who had a similar idea, and she's used the butterfly stencil, but she's also used one of the other stencils as well, which has got this corner section and these bits that drop down at the top. So that's PS029, PaperArtsy stencil 029, and then this one is PS030, and so on that we've got some tall spiky stalks which Kirsten's used here to create flowers. There's also another edge, interesting edge, and some great foliage there. That's going to look amazing with grunge paste. And you can see Kirsten's used the grasses off that other stencil across the bottom, and then she's added detail to the flowers using a white pen, which is a great way to just really give them a bit of pop. And there's a sample here from the 3rd stencil, PS031, and you can see that's the corner bit section and the bit from the top that I was talking about. This has also got great circles on the side of it, and I like on this sample here how Kirsten's managed to use 3 different shades of paint, and the edge of the stencil just gives that great interest off that stencil there. Finally, with last stencil sample, there's a grunge paste butterfly, and there's a bit of grunge paste through that, and using that to pop. Plus she's got the edge in there, so she's got a bit of everything going on that one. Okay, so let's look at the stamps in a bit more detail, and I'll start with plate 17. And we've got lots of samples to show you again. So this is by Kirsten. Now she's used just a section of the wing here underneath. It almost looks like hands, doesn't it? And that butterfly or moth is off this plate here, plate 19. They've mixed and matched a lot as they've created these samples. And look at the size of the quotes that Darcy's done. They're a bit bigger this time. Really like that font. It works really well. So here's another one by Kirsten. She's got the flower here. She's actually laid it up on another layer. I like how these little leaves stick out the side of that flower head. It's just different. And this one's also by Kirsten, using this blobbies on stalks, and we try to trim quite closely so you can bend each of these stalks different directions if you wish. And that stamp there is off that plate there. Now this is by Laura Bomba. She's also used the wings to frame some other art in the centre. And here you can see the little circles from the bottom. She's layered up across there and made a sun. Actually, I think a couple of them have done that, where they've made a sun out of all the different elements. So Gabrielle Price has done 2 samples here. These are on wood. And that's that one layered up. And then here she's got, look, she's actually created a body for this using the circles. And then a tag by Darcy. And she's cut the little leaves off this to make smaller little small flowers with the little leaves sticking out the side. And that one's by Darcy too, a much more distressed background she's got going on there. Here she's used a pen nib to create the body. So she deliberately created these wings so that they're 2 separate stamps. Okay, so the way we trim them, they come individually, and you can sort of use them, part of them like you've seen them do, but also you can join them together to make a moth or a butterfly. And then here's another one by Darcy, which actually leads us into this stamp set. Let me just pop that on there. I don't know why this speaks of Triffid to me, but I love it. When we trim it, because it's got quite a skinny line in the centre, you can really bend it lots of different directions. And so she's almost created a sort of a wreath surround. And the way she's done the flowers with separate petals, you can bend them all so that they layer up really nicely. And they're lovely and sort of little frilly petals on there, so that layers up beautifully on top of that one. And this is a gorgeous sample by Kirsten, and I like how she's got the petals dropping away off this one. And she's got very mixed media background, like there's the golden bead gel she's used in the background here, and a bit of a resist because that's quite shiny, but then to layer this on top is just fab. Lots of layers. And I really like how frilly the petals have turned out when you cut them all out like that. Right, here's another one by Kirsten. Now this time she's used coloured inks with the Triffidy frond to stamp and create a lovely interesting background. So just 2 different, there's pale blue and there's a sort of a pumpkin soup coloured ink there. And then she's also got the little circle in black. It's just a brilliant background. And you see how she's used that wing again underneath the flower head. And this one's also by Kirsten. I think she got on a bit of a roll here. So she's used that one and the spiky bit in the background, and you can see that she's got some stenciling. The white stenciling there is from this one. That bit there, PS030. And back to Laura. So Laura's managed to go vivid orange, vivid blue, and layer that up. And then in this one, Laura's got shades of blue. Love this, the colours in there. That looks really good, doesn't it? And these pop. And see, Darcy's still got the sort of like screwdriver heads for flower centres, because she's always has, there's in her earlier releases a lot of steampunk type elements in there, and she still tends to repeat those as she moves through into new designs. And then we've got a couple of samples here by Gabby. And Gabby's used altered book page on this one, and here she's actually used the edge of the stencil as a template. Again, she's got the altered book page. And this one here's by Darcy. Oops, upside down. She's layered this onto black card and cut it out, which really makes it sort of pop. And she's curled them up, but I love how she's stamped that image onto a crackle background. So that's all the texture in there is a really lovely blue underneath, and then white paint or on top. It might be chalk paint on top. So that's EDY 18. So let me just show you what I meant about this Triffidy thing and how bendy it is. You see, you can easily bend that quite in all kinds of directions. Okay, so lastly we're on to this one, which is EDY19. So this is a plaque by Kirsten. So here you can see the little circles on this one here, and we trim it out as a solid row for that particular stamp, but if you want to cut them apart you can. Then the sample here, beautiful reds going into orange. Another one by Laura. And then this little one here is by Gabby. So she's done that on a little square canvas. I do like this background stamp too. It's quite delicate, but it's just adds something nice in the background because it's not too bold, it doesn't dominate, so quite delicate, and that's always handy having something like that. And then Gabby's also done this one, and she's created a very rusty antenna with wire, which is pretty cool. And then let's finish up with two samples by Darcy. So here she's used all the little spots, and they're actually stamped onto fabric, which is why you can see like the gingham there in the background. And then this last one here, she's got the little flower head in there layered up, and she's used the stencil in the background with some gilding flakes through that. So another fantastic release from Darcy. That's 3 stamps for you to enjoy, EDY 17, 18 and 19, and you've also got 3 fantastic stencils, PSO 29, 30 and 31. Have fun! If you would like more information on the samples that you've seen in this video, the people who made those samples, or if you want to know where you can buy these products, then click on the link in the description below on this video and it will take you straight through to the PaperArtsy blog post that matches this new release. If you'd like to find out about more of our 2016 new product releases, click on the playlist and you'll be able to see lots of other videos with other new products from us here at PaperArtsy.